I want to begin by talking about the political culture of Virginia. A lot of states, as we know, have become more polarized, less civil over the last 20, 25 years. Think Texas, California. Virginia remains a purple state in a lot of ways. That doesn't mean that there's not a lot of diversity within the state. I live in deep blue Arlington County, an hour away from deep blue Rappahannock and Culpeper counties. But what this means is that Virginia's had to focus on tax, regulation, business climate, delivering for its residents. So I wonder, for the people here who are not fortunate enough to live in Virginia, if you can explain a little bit about what makes Virginia's political culture tick.
Yeah, well, first of all, I would say that Virginia's overall political profile has changed quite a bit over the last decade or 15 years. And it has moved from being purplish red to purplish blue. And one could argue today it's pretty darn blue. I think that's just reflective of the state's evolution with population in Northern Virginia. But also, a reality that once one party begins to demonstrate repetitive wins, there's a deflation that goes on in the other party. And so engagement changes a lot too. And yet, for issues that Virginians care deeply about, it really is a purple state. And so that's part of, I think, our own responsibility, which is to try to keep everybody engaged. But just to put it in context, since 2010, there's roughly a statewide election almost every year between governor's races, Senate races, and presidentials. Out of every 4-year cycle, we usually have 3 statewide. And there's been 1 Republican elected statewide during that time period, 1, over the course of the last 15 years. And I was fortunate enough to get hired by Virginians to be governor. We've had Democratic senators for quite a long time in Virginia. And the General Assembly has flip-flopped a bit. And that has really reflected, again, this pendulum that swings back and forth. And so I think the other really interesting tidbit is that because Virginia's gubernatorial race is 1 year after the presidential, so it's offset, and the only 2 states that have a governor's race 1 year after the presidential are New Jersey and, of course, Virginia. Those are only 2 states. The governor of Virginia has represented the opposite party of the president for 13 out of 14 governor's elections. And the one that it didn't was Terry McAuliffe. And the reality is Terry McAuliffe won with less than 48% of the vote that year because there was a libertarian candidate that ran that took 6% of the vote. So the state tends to be a very interesting barometer of national opinions.